大丈夫だって。うまくいってるじゃないか。
I'll never forgive the Japanese!
Do you remember?
That time when you were a kid, when you would wake up early to watch cartoons on a Saturday, or stay up late to play video games. Well,
I guarantee!
You also remember how most of those characters in those shows and games sounded like. Whenever you look at those characters now, their distinct voice will ring in your head. This is exactly what happened with me and Dragon Ball Z. Every day before school I would wake up early to watch each episode, hearing Christopher Sabat as Vegeta, and Sean Shkamelli as Goku, and those were the voices that I associated with those characters, and to this day, that is all I hear when I see them. Goku for me is this,
It's fine with me.
and not this. I did talk about this in my earlier video, but people always say how important first impressions are, and that is no different when you watch a show or a game and hear a character speak their lines. This is now the voice your brain will always associate with said character, no matter what happens to them. This is now their voice. Which is why it was so great that even after all these years, a new Dragon Ball anime came out, and nearly every single voice actor from that earlier Funimation dub came back to voice those same characters. And now watching the show, I got those same nostalgic feelings that I did when I would wake up early every school morning to watch me some Dragon Ball Z. Now this first impression feeling is the same regardless of the language. As with most anime nowadays, you often have to listen to the characters in Japanese before ever getting a chance to hear the English dub. So the Japanese voice is now what you associate with the character. And when the dub is released, you never want to listen to that. Or perhaps you just prefer the Japanese voices over the English, and that's fine if you do.
Lucky for you, I'm a dub lover.
But it often can become an issue, as with the newest Persona dancing games. I know I praised them so much in my last video, and I know I could buy and play them right now thanks to region-free consoles. But that is not how I want to hear the characters. After 70 plus hours with the English dub in the main games, I can't just suddenly play these games and expect myself to enjoy them, because honestly it feels like they are now completely different characters. I also recall having this issue with the Pokemon dub, and oh boy, do I have a lot of things to say on that, but way too many for this video. Hope I don't forget that idea.
Write that down, write that down!
I bet you that this will go in the trash like all your other ideas.
Another example is with Phoenix Wright from the Ace Attorney series. Now for his original games, he only had 3 lines of dialogue.
Objection! Hold it! Take that!
And this was the voice I associated with him and still do to this day. Yet after the 4th game, things happened, anime cutscenes were made, people left companies, and now this boy is his voice actor. The thing is, the voice he uses for Phoenix Wright is very similar to a purple turtle from a 2003 TV show.
I've always liked to tinker with stuff.
So yes, in my head, every time I hear the new Phoenix Wright talk,
These are dark times.
I don't hear the blue-suited lawyer, I only hear a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And that's not even to mention how his voice changed from the Layton Versus game.
Yes. Well, I guess you could call it ready, Your Honor.
And the dub for the anime.
Because I was so clumsy, I let Mystic Ami's spirit fly away.
Did you go cry to your mommy like a little bitch?
And now, so many different fans have different associations as to what his voice sounds like. But a good example of a consistent dub is with Danganronpa.
In my opinion,
The second game's voiced cast is the best dub I have ever heard in a video game with multiple characters. And so with the Danganronpa 3 anime, they had episodes showing a prequel of said characters. Now with the first game's anime, everyone except one average boy's voice actor was brought back, making the whole anime sound disjointed to me personally. So what was amazing was that in the DR3 anime, they were able to bring back most of the voice actors for the characters. And this little fact saved the entire show for me.
Really?
Yes, hearing Hiyoko's English voice with the many other characters helped me enjoy the show so much more. The characters you spent hours with, filled with despair-inducing moments in the game, I could now enjoy that they were given some breathing room in the anime, and appreciate that these actually sounded like the same characters.
Or was it just because Kira Buckland is your favorite voice actor?
No. This is what I feel happens when you are allowed to experience more of the characters with the same voice actors. Your brain hears this voice and then associates that with the character, making any future installments feel like you're going on a journey with them. Now I do want to mention that your brain can still do this even with changing voices, as this happened to me with Steins Gate. So when I watched the anime, I listened to it in dub, but then the sequel Steins Gate Zero came out in a visual novel and there was no way for me to listen to it in English. And for the sake of knowing what happens without getting spoiled, I had to play it in Japanese. Thankfully, the Japanese is amazing. And now for whatever reason, I can switch the voices in my head and say, yeah, he does sound great in Japanese or English. Thank God Funimation is dubbing the Zero anime right now because I love the dub so much.
Wasabi! Wait, what?
Then again, I do know situations where this can be an odd thing, like with the Yakuza series. So the remake games are out, and this is now people's first impressions of the franchise. Games which have Japanese only audio. But would it shock you to learn that one of the games was already dubbed in English?
He's learned his lesson.
And that one character was voiced by Mark Hamill.
You're gonna have to teach him a little respect.
I wonder to those who played the original with the dubs, are you still enjoying the remakes given that the characters sound completely different? And finally, I want to mention My Hero Academia, an anime that is really taking off recently. Thanks to its huge popularity, Funimation has been simuldubbing on the same day as Japan for nearly all the episodes. Yes, the newest episodes come out in English and Japanese on the same day, meaning that for this show, like with me and Dragon Ball Z, the dub is what a few people would listen to, and what those few people would associate onto those characters. Now the franchise is getting a video game later this year, and at the time of this video, no dub has been announced for it. So there is a real possibility that the game could have only Japanese voices. What happens to the people who watched it in dub? Would they still be able to enjoy the characters when they sound nothing like they did in 3 seasons worth of episodes? And what if Bandai Namco gave them a dub, but like Danganronpa, it has only some voice actors returning? Would you still enjoy it? Would the characters still feel the same as the ones you've watched on the big screen? Well, let me know below, because this stuff fascinates me. As I've said before, I do prefer dubs any day, but I want to know about you. Do the voice actors actually matter? If they are replaced, can you still enjoy the characters even though they don't sound like themselves at all? And now to end this video, let us listen to the soothing voices of Japanese Goku.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Sheik!